the man, the myth, the legend, the one and only Wally Feck. He makes that look a lot easier than it is. Cheers! Happy Homebrew Wednesday. Yo! Happy Homebrew Wednesday, y'all. You already know if I succeeded yet in doing a short video. So let's see what I can do. This is my New England IPA. It's not as pretty as I wanted it to be. Not like that. It is very New England IPA-like, but the color isn't spectacular. It's a little bit more dull than I would have liked it, but it's tasting fantastic. I think this is about 2.5 weeks old. And I'm learning quickly that as much as it is fantastic to drink IPAs fresh as possible, maybe it's the way I brew, maybe it's the hops, whatever, mine don't hit the stride till about 3 weeks, if not just a tad over 3 weeks from when they were brewed. This is almost a 7% ABV New England IPA. It's become my go-to and kind of my favorite recipe for my New England styles. I love Munich. I love Munich as a base malt. So in most of my beers I use a little bit of Munich, regardless if it's a pale style. Sometimes even dark styles too. So this is a Pilsner base. It's predominantly Pilsner. And then Munich. And Pilsner, is it Pilsner or two-row? I don't remember. Pretty sure it's Pilsner. And a little bit of Munich. Lots of oats. And then the Conan and 644 hybrid strain that I got from dude in Denmark a long time ago. I've been keeping around the two strains. The beers turned out fantastic. And then I hit it with kind of a typical New England style IPA hop schedule. Dry hop in primary towards the end of the fermentation. And then hit it with a second dry hop. Cheers to Lubrew, Nate, Secor, Wally, everybody out there holding my hand on some of the New England IPAs. You know, I've been tweaking the hop schedule and stuff, so they've been advising a little bit on that. Hops are Azaka, Hallertau Blanc, and Mandarina Bavaria. And it's my favorite blend. It is my favorite blend. It's fantastic. Try it. So I've got this in a keg. I'm drinking on it. Starting to really come to its own. Almost 3 weeks old. What am I doing right now? I'm brewing, and I'm trying to stay alive. Atlanta has had some crazy storms today, and we're about to get hit by round 3 of tornadic activity storms. Yeah, really, really nasty. So I've got 35 minutes left in this boil, and I'm hoping it gets done before I get blown away. Doing the beet beer. So first off, I failed on my promise to get you a beet beer brandy glass really quickly. I got impatient. I want a beet beer as soon as the weather gets warm. And so it's been kettle souring for about 3 days. And so I'm boiling it now. So that is beet beer in progress. I also have, since we last touched base, I've got a barrel fermented Saison also in the keg, but I used a special ingredient. It's called Cascara. So I listen to Good Beer Hunting. It's a beer kind of journalistic podcast. A lot of you, I'm sure, listen to it as well. And they talk about the, what do they call it? Uppers and Downers. So they talk about Uppers and Downers, which is a festival they do where they do a lot of coffee and beer collaborations. And in that podcast, this recently was the second time I've heard them talk about cascara, which is actually the fruit on the outside of a coffee bean that gets peeled away. And most of the time up until now, switching hands, my arm is tired. Most of the time until now, the cascara, that fruit, would be discarded or would be used as like compost or something like that. There's ghosts in my garage. Messing with my wort chiller. A lot of people now are drying that cherry around the coffee bean, and they're drying it and using it in teas and beers. So a very small, at least to my knowledge, a very small number of brewers have actually used it in beer. And so I was like, I have to try this stuff. So the second round of my barrel fermented saison project after the Scuppernong saison is now a cascara saison. So it's a pretty typical saison recipe, malt bill. It's Pilsner, wheat, a little bit of Munich, and then I actually put some oats in this one too because I wanted to smooth out the flavor a little bit. I didn't want it to be super sharp and crisp. A lot of saisons are very crisp. I intentionally wanted to try this with a little bit of a softer mouthfeel because cascara has a lot of taste, kind of like, I was told it was hibiscus. It was a lot like hibiscus and rose hips. So you can get kind of a, not vegetal, you can get kind of maybe a slight astringent taste off of it that kind of mimics hibiscus. So I used some oats, rounded out the flavors, fermented it. It went off like a rocket. It was great ferment. Did it with the Bootleg Biology strain, the Saison Parfait, that I'm in love with. And then moved to the secondary on top of this cascara. And did about 6 ounces of that, which is a lot of volume for a dried product like that. And it is awesome. I'm going to try and do it on my next Homebrew Wednesday. I'll give you an update, kind of do tasting notes on it. Super crazy excited about this. You get like hibiscus and like black tea and the saison character from the yeast coming through. Wow, love it. I'm in love. And I'm thinking it's going to get even better. I just hit it with gelatin last night, so it's going to be clearing out soon. But last thing before I get back to my boil here, try to wrap this up, is brewed the collab beer on Sunday. And that's why I started out this video the way I did, because I am paired with Mr. Wally Feck for the collaboration project. I think it's 8 teams of 2, and each team is doing a single beer style, but then they're going to be different ever so slightly in whether it be a special ingredient or malt bill or hops or something. So it's very, very similar beers, but then they're going to be different. And then we're going to send them to Tyler from Everyday Home Brewing, and then he's going to distribute them back out. But couldn't be more stoked to be with Mr. Wally Feck. And dude, we've got a friggin' awesome beer. Both of us brewed on Sunday. I just watched his video just to see if he gave away too many details. I wouldn't have cared if he did, but I didn't want to give any more information than he did. We're going for awesome hop character. We're going for awesome yeast character. We're going for another special ingredient character. So I couldn't be more excited and pumped to be paired with Wally for this. It's been an absolute dual effort to come up with this recipe process, and really, really stoked about it. So we brewed pretty early to give it time to kind of smooth out the edges on this beer, but pretty pumped. Pretty darn pumped. More to come on that. I don't think these are going to be super secret beers. I think we're going to let the word out. before we actually do the tasting of all the beers, but I think we're waiting until everybody gets their beer brewed to start talking about what it is, so nobody steals information. So I'm out of here. It's just shorter than normal, but still not short. Cheers to all you out there. Drink some New England IPA. Azaka Hallertau Blanc, Mandarin of Bavaria. Happy Homebrew Wednesdays, guys. I'm getting back to my beet beer. I'll be doing this again, I'm sure in not too terribly long time. It's addictive. It's an addictive beer. And I will have another one for the summer, so I will do that branded glass video. Hold me to it. Anyway, guys, cheers. Have a great Wednesday, great rest of your week, and we'll see you next time. Okay, cheers. I lied, I'm back. I thought about it, and I could not wait till next week to talk about this. Not the beer fairy, the cheese fairy visited my house today. The cheese fairy, you ask? Mr. Dan Desilets. I got 3 different homemade cheeses from the Minister of Flavor. I'm not going to even attempt, not even going to attempt to pronounce these names. Oh, I'm smelling them through this plastic. Or what they are. I'm going to do some serious research. Look at this. I know this one has basil and spinach. There's one of them that has like a lot of earthy mushroom character to it. Ooh, and I can smell that one like crazy. I don't have a clue. Let's just take the rind off this one. I'm not gonna taste it now, but I want to give Dan a shout out. I am as much or more excited about this cheese mail than beer mail. And my wife and I are gonna enjoy this. I'm gonna take some footage throughout the week of trying some of this cheese. And then next week, when I'm slightly more informed, he gave me some descriptions and I still wanna go do more research on these styles of cheese to know what halfway know what I'm talking about. Cheers, Dan. This is friggin' amazing. Cheese mail. Heck yeah. We'll see you next week.